All right, everybody, we are live again. It's 2 o'clock. We got through the first hour. That went by. Hope you enjoyed some of that stuff going. Hey, you know what? While we're waiting for people to come on, a couple things that I forgot to tell you. Normally, the paperback is going to be priced at $14.99, and the Kindle book $7.99. But you probably noticed, especially if you've already gone to buy one, that the Kindle book is $2.99, and the paperback is down to $9.99. And I am leaving those at those prices until the next launch, which will probably be at the beginning of July. So I'm going to leave them low at that point. So just if you're wondering about pricing, I don't think I talked about that in the beginning. So
isn't it $4 Canadian?
No.
Oh.
I changed it. All right. So Carmen was asking me how come I wasn't. Carmen, how come you're not in the screen here, darling? You gotta be here. I decided to leave. She was hiding on us all, which is not really nice because we need her beautiful face. All right. So we are about to do a draw, and Carmen's got an official. We've got an app that we used before, which shows. It's kind of, you remember those glass, what do they call them?
It's a drum roll thing.
Tumbler. Is it a tumbler? Drum roll?
Tumble drum.
Okay, so that's what she's got. And but it's all digital because we couldn't go buy one, and you can't come here and throw names in. But here's what we're giving away. So we are actually giving away a double book pack right now. I'm going the wrong way here. All right, so you're going to get a copy of You're Not Done Yet, and you're going to get a copy of Driven to Drive. So if you don't know what Driven to Drive is a book I wrote a number of years ago. I'm going off screen because I'm in the wrong hand. It's a book I did a number of years ago that is on the trucking career. So I was on a podcast the other day. I was on a podcast called the Nate and Greg's World Podcast, which is a great show. They had me on. I sent them the books ahead of time, and Driven to Drive, they really enjoyed. Now, neither of them are truck drivers. They actually, one's a counselor and one used to be in the Army. And they talk about diversity. It's a good podcast. I will warn you, the language is a little flavorful, if that's the way I say it.
Flavorful.
Did I say that right? So this is the book that they really enjoyed. They were asking me a lot of questions about that. You can go to nateandgregsworld.com to find out more about that podcast. But so that's what we're going to be giving away. We got a 2-pack for you. We'll give both of them away. Are you ready there, Sunshine? Or we got people on. Hey, Dave, how we doing? Dave Rogers is on with us. Dave, thanks for joining us. We're on number 2, buddy. We are about to do a drum roll. Dave's going to make sure that we don't do it wrong. So, are you ready? Hold on, I'm going to switch the screen. So Carmen's going to press the button and show you the screen. Ready? Go. Hold it up a bit. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see it? It's spinning. You may not be able to see it too well, but it's spinning.
Oh, it's done.
It's done. Our first winner is
Chris Harris.
Chris Harris. So Mr. Safety Dog himself won this. It's good because Chris is in transportation, so you'll actually like this. So Chris Harris won this. Thank you. Here's a message from Dave here. Thanks very much, Dave, for being on. So Chris Harris is our winner. And while we're getting hold of Chris was just on the first one. So thank you very much, Dave, for all the best wishes. I really appreciate that. So let's just start talking about some of the stuff in the book. So in the first part, if you missed the first part, go back to our Facebook page and you can see the actual interview that Carmen did with me about the book. We did some interviews from Paul Copcutt. He was talking about, Paul's the one who wrote the foreword for the book, so we were talking to him about that. And we've just given away our first, there's more. We're giving away a Kindle e-reader today. We're giving away some digital books from, not from me, but from some of my friends that inspired me. So we've got more draws coming up. That was the first draw, which we did, which was really good. So now we are going to, I just want to talk about some of the things in Chapter 2. So Chapter 2 in the book talks about don't believe what they tell you. And, you know, one of the things that I always found was that people, if they don't understand your creative pursuit, that they want you to go in whatever direction they want you to go in. And so I was told to go get a real job, and I'm just trying to make sure Carmen's online here. So the first thing that we had to figure out was people said, go get a real job. So I did. I went trucking for 25 years. But what I wish they had told me was to go find someone else who was an artist and find out what they do. So I just want to play with you somebody that has been one of my students. Marina is only now at the time, she's probably 14 years old, maybe 15, I think she's 14 now. And she's already starting as an animator, illustrator, and she is doing some amazing things. I had her on my Inspiring Youth show. And this is one of the things that I talk about. When you're that age, when you're 10 years old, you're 14 years old, are you, are we trying to inspire people who are that age to do something, or are we just telling them you can't make it? Because Marina already wants to be an illustrator, and I'm going to show you this interview from her about what she's doing. All right, I have Marina here. Marina, how nervous are you being on your first interview?
Really nervous.
Okay, so just to let you people know, Marina is only 14 years old and used to be one of my students.
Yeah, I did.
Right, and now what are you doing? Still a student?
Still a student, yeah. Just doing my own stuff now.
Yeah? So when did you start drawing? Because you're 14 years old and you're already amazing. So you must have started like when you were 4, right?
I started for as long as I could remember. I mean, ever since I knew how to sit, I had like a pencil in my hand already and a sketchbook. So I was always at it.
Yeah. And Dad's behind the camera showing us pictures when he was doing the little one. You've already been in an interview there, I think.
No, that's an award I got.
Okay. Let me see this. For those of you who can't see on camera, this is you up here?
Yeah, that's me.
Okay, I'm sorry if you're listening to this on the podcast, you can't see anything, but we're looking at a picture plaque with a clipping from when Marina was in an art show?
Yeah, it was an award I got. So when I was still taking lessons at the Dundas Valley School of Art, one of my paintings or oil pastel works was, along with 2 other ones at the school, was chosen to participate in a contest in Czech Republic.
Wow.
And so yeah, that was at the awards ceremony. After our school came 37th, I believe, place.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So you've been doing all kinds of stuff. Whoops, I didn't mean to break your picture. I didn't break it. So we've been doing some art instruction with you, which you are super talented. So tell us some of the projects you've done, because you've done some artwork up to date.
Yeah. In grade 7 last year, there was something in our school that our teachers introduced to us called the Me Time Project. And basically, the goal of that project was to go out into the community or just into the school and incorporate something that you've always been passionate about into helping the community or students in our school in one way or another. And so what I decided to do was make a series of comics displaying how students can help each other in certain points of their lives and how it can really impact one another, what you're doing.
So, and that's based on a kindness? Is that whole project was a kindness one?
Yeah, it was a kindness one again.
Yeah.
Everything kind of revolves around that, I feel.
There's nothing wrong with that. We need more kindness. And I want you to know that you are officially the youngest person I've ever had on the show. How do you feel about that?
That makes me feel good.
All right. So one of the things that I thought was great, I hope you enjoyed that interview with Marina. She is super talented. You're going to see her doing things in the future here. But, again, it's all about people that age and how we're inspiring them. And I talk about Marina a little bit in the book, but there's 2 guys that I talk about. That's OVT Guitars. Now, John and Carson, they started their own business. They were in high school. And I first met them at a Men and Career Coaches event for Hayek. They were one of the keynote speakers. They were given a high school project on business, and they started their own guitar company, and they did so well that they won the $500 from the Acton business people up in Acton. I don't know if it's the business commerce business commerce up there. Anyway, awarded $500, and I had the pleasure of having them on my Inspiring You show because I was so impressed with them. And one of the things that they taught me, I went out to visit. They live up by Campbellville there, and they started their own guitar business because John played guitar. And what he wanted to do is he wanted to make guitars for his friends. He thought this was really cool. And so I visited them up for Inspiring Youth to see more about what they're doing and how they were doing it back in season 1. That was 3 years ago. So let me play that for you now. It's pretty cool. All right, so we are on location in Campbellville with John and Carson. Welcome to the show, guys. Thanks. All right, so we're in your studio. Is that what you call it, a studio?
Yeah, the shop. Yeah, the studio shop.
Okay, so you make guitars here. All right, so before we get started, so tell us, you guys got different roles. So Carson, we'll start with you. What's your role in the company?
Well, I basically clean the shop. Yeah, I'm more the business side. I try to take care of like the web analytics and all that stuff. So
there's no screens in here. I think you're in the wrong area. Maybe you should be in an office somewhere. And then, John, what do you do with the shop?
Well, this is my place. This is my shop. I build the guitars. That's what I've always liked to do. It's, I'm the builder, the luthier. Yeah.
All right, so we've got some guitars on the background here, some that are in multiple stages of how do you start building a guitar? Like, where do you even start from?
Well, first of all, these are all just kind of pieces of junk that I started and never really, got the urge to finish. But I start with the guitar. I go out in the back forest over there. I cut down a tree, run it through the mill, and I cut a shape out of it with a bandsaw there. And then you get the router. You route out all the cavities that you need to route out. You got the body. I usually order the neck. If I'm feeling really ambitious, then I'll build the neck myself. But that's really time consuming, and there's a lot of precision work that has to go into it. So I usually just order the neck just to save a lot of time and money. But yeah, it starts off just go back, cut out, make it whatever you like. Like, see here, nobody ever showed me like this is just a piece of junk right now, but that's kind of the idea. I'll take it to the bandsaw and I'll make it whatever shape I want out of it.
Cool. So now, how did you learn to do this? Is there a course in school that I missed? And I'm really old, but is there a course on guitar? Because I never saw that in let's how to make guitars or whatever. How'd you learn how to do all that?
Well, if there was a course, I'd love to take it. That'd be a lot of fun. But really, it started with one guitar. I really wanted to make this guitar, and nobody sold it. And so I bought a kit online, and I put it together, and it was trial and error. And the only thing that I actually looked up how to do was the wiring. I looked up the wiring schemes, and then I figured out how to wire it. Everything else, I just, I've got pretty good mechanical skills, so I just put it together and see what worked.
So you put in all what do you call those? The big metal things that actually work the guitar. These picks. Yeah. Do you make those yourself too, or do you buy all that stuff?
I have wound a pickup before, but it doesn't really get the high quality sound that I like. Plus, when people are buying guitars, they like to have pickups in it that they know, like Seymour Duncan, or it's nice to have a name that they can rely on.
Okay, so you get the pickups, you order the necks, you make the body of the guitar, and then do you string it all and do all of that?
Oh yeah, definitely. Stringing is something that every guitarist does. It's something, you can buy strings at the music store. You have to string your guitar like every month. Mm-hmm. So stuff like that's really easy, but everything, it's like a big puzzle. It's really, yeah.
So how many guitars are outside? We're on a farm. You guys can't see that now, but we're on a farm. How many guitar bodies are actually holding up the fence because you messed up? Like how did you get good at that part?
Well, I probably cut down, 3 or 4 trees before I had a good guitar.
There's environmentalists.
Yeah. Shh. There's a lot of guitars out there. Yeah. I bet you, with all those trees, we have 50 acres. I bet you I get 200,000 bodies if I wanted to. If I really wanted to, like small guitars, I could get a couple 100,000. So,
well, you'd get a lot out of one tree, I would assume, right? So, how many trees are you knocking down to get a bunch of guitars? How much is one guitar? That must be just one slab, right?
Yeah. So, one guitar usually is one slab. The thing about using a tree, though, is it's actually only certain parts of the tree that will actually be good for it, because nearing the outside of the tree, the grain is going to get thicker and it's going to have less tone quality. And people want the tighter grain, the better tone quality. And really, so if you cut down one tree, you're probably only going to get 4 or 5 guitars out of it. because you need to use the most high quality wood that there is in that tree.
Okay, so Carson, you're not building any guitars. No. You're just kind of doing websites, getting customers. Do you understand all this, or are you like me and we're just kind of John's in lead here?
Well, I mean, John's taught me a few things here and there, but I mean, what I would do in that situation of cutting down, I don't know, 200,000 trees, I'd probably invent some sort of environmental sustainability program for us. But
so do you have to know? You have to know the basics though to explain it. Like when you go, you're the selling guy, I guess, right? So when you're going to sell this to someone, do you have to explain how it's made, or are they just picking a guitar they like, or how's that work?
Well, usually when me and John travel somewhere and we're trying to get a customer basis, I usually bring this kid with me because he's the guitar encyclopedia. So, I mean, I don't usually explain everything about how it works, but I mean, I know enough to show a customer like, hey, here's a guitar, here's what it does. I mean,
cool. So now you're the business side. Are we got a website yet? How we doing? Like, where's the business part? Because I know last time we spoke, Naps was kind of top of your list. So I mean, we probably need to bring it up to websites. So where are you as far as websites? Like, how people get a hold of you guys?
Yeah, we got some guy. I hired some guy from our school. He took the computer programming course and stuff like that, and he just developed it. He developed an interest to it, so I'm paying him to do it for us. I'm kind of like guiding him through it. I'm doing some of it with him, but he's going to do it all for us.
How do you find the? First of all, you guys are a partnership, but there was some other partners when you began, right? But how do you guys find working together? You make a good team. You're still together. It's been what, a year and a bit, right? So how do you find it? Are you able to work together? Were you friends before?
Oh yeah. I mean, coming into grade 9, me and John didn't really know each other, but we kind of just bonded because I don't know. Everything we did, we were kind of always doing it together. But I mean, it's just easy to stay friends with this guy. But
you need him because he needs to keep building guitars, and he needs you to make a website. So that's a good partnership. If you're needed, you don't have to agree on everything, but if you're needed, that's the way to do it. Great. Well, thanks very much, guys, and we're gonna take a look around and see what you do. So thanks very much. Okay. So we're going to. All right. So. Thanks. That was really good. So could you imagine if you have people like Marina and you have the guys like John and Carson at OVT Guitars? Look at what they're doing. If we said, just go get a real job, look at the passion they have. Look at the talent they already have. Instead of telling them to get a real job, why don't we just tell them to, just keep developing their passion? Now we have the other end of the spectrum. Okay, so this is why I say don't believe what people tell you, because people believe in telling you what they think you should do. So here we have Marina and OVT Guitars. We have the high school guys, right? They're all in that young age. But what about someone like Jeffrey Wayne Ford? So Jeffrey Wayne Ford I had on my podcast, and he is a truck driver, but he's also an actor. And he's been in films like The Walking Dead. He just got his own leading role in the last Dime, I think it is. And so he's doing what he loves to do while he drives a truck. So he's auditioning. He's doing what he wants. I won't say how old he is, but he's my age, so or older. We'll just leave that alone. So anyway, so that's. You can do this at any age. Don't believe if people are telling you can't do it or you don't have what it takes, then you need to don't listen to them. And I talk about that in the book and why you shouldn't be doing that. So if you remember, I mentioned in the first hour that if you saw this, okay, so this is one of the action step at the bottom or at the end of each chapter. There's an action step to help you to help you live your life, the life that you want. So we'll play a little game here. I'm not big into games, but let's try this one. So this is an action step game. So action step on page 59. So if you have the book, go to page 59 and type in the answer in the comments section for you. Okay, so you'll read the question. I'm going to leave that alone. We'll see how that goes. I don't know if that game's going to work. Figure out how that's going to work. So here's what's going to happen. We're already at 20 minutes in. You can see now how the flavor is going to go. The first half hour, we'll have stuff going on, and then we'll take a break. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take a little break. We're going to come back at 3 o'clock live, and we're going to do our next draw. And the next draw is a really cool draw that we're going to send to somebody, so you do not want to miss this. So how can you get in the draw? One, you can. Thanks, Carlene. Carlene said she learned something about guitar making. That's great. So how do you get in the draw? There's a couple ways you can get in the draw. You do not have to buy anything to get in the draw. Okay, so you do not have to purchase a book to get in the draw. One way is to just leave comments. If we see comments here, we'll put everybody that's got comments in the draw. The other way is to go to my website, which is You're Not Done Yet, the one for the book. And right there's an orange link. You can sign up there with your name and your email and can be put in the draw that way. So that's your task for the next 40 minutes, is to get entered into the draw, because you do not want to miss the next three prizes to take us up to 5 o'clock are amazing prizes, and you are not going to want to miss those. So if you are not in the draw, Chris Harris won the draw first. So where do we got? So Chris Harris, Safety Dog as he's known, won this two-pack book here. All right, so that's what he got, and thank God Chris is in the transportation industry, because he'll enjoy this one. This one's Driven to Drive, which is a book about my career in the trucking industry. So that's going to be it. So we're going to take a break now. I think we might come back with a little something. We'll see how that goes. But make sure you join us. We have lots more coming up at 3 o'clock. We're going to be showing some more interviews. We're going to be talking some more. We're going to do our next draw. We're going to do that again at 4, and you do not want to miss the 4 o'clock one. I'm going to give you, because you people are on, the 4 o'clock draw is the one for the Kindle Reader. So make sure you come back at 4 if you don't come back at 3. But I would come back at 3, because I think you're going to like the one at 3 too. All right, so we're going to take a little break. The last break I had lunch. You might want to have something too. All right, and we'll be back at 3 o'clock live. I just want to give a shout out to all the people that have joined us, because we've had some amazing people online here. Big thank you to Dave Rogers. You guys may not know Dave. Actually, on Thursday, Dave's interview is coming out. We did a talk on the podcast, so his podcast interview is coming out. You've probably seen him on here before. He's been on many times. We did a podcast clinic with him, and Dave does some amazing things for entrepreneurs. In fact, check him out. You can go to daverogers.net. He's got a YouTube channel. He does a lot about investing and entrepreneurs, all that kind of stuff. So make sure you check Dave out. So Dave was on. Kyle Outridge, my son, Kylester. The Kylester's on. Thank you so much. Kylester bought a book. Didn't even realize he was going to do that, folks. That's surprising right there. So thank you, Kyle. Appreciate it, buddy. Appreciate the support. Kyle is doing some awesome stuff. As you probably know, Kyle started Junior Hockey Talk, which is a podcast for the junior hockey players. And since then, he got picked up by Collingwood Colts. He now started his own promotional products company, and he's doing a whole bunch. So go to KyleOutridgeProductions.com. It's probably the best place to go. But you can also check out MBKO, which is his new production company. And you can follow the Collingwood Colts, OHL, all that stuff. You're going to see my son Kyle. So give him a thumbs up, because that's pretty cool what he just did. Anyway, and we have Monique Bourgeois. Monique, if you didn't know, is an author. And she's got her own line of books out and does content writing for people. And so if you're looking for that, I think it's MoniqueBourgeois.com. I may be wrong on that. I don't have it in front of me. Sorry, Monique, if I messed that up. But Monique is on as well. And then, of course, we have the talented Carleen Bland, who is always a supporter. You've heard Carleen on the show here before. She's always helping me out, always doing things. She's an amazing painter, amazing artist. You can find her at Carleen. I think it's CarleenBlandFineArts.com. Hopefully I got that right. I don't have the websites in front of me. Sorry, I wasn't planning on doing that. Hopefully, but check out Carleen. Check out Carleen's interviews here on the podcast. She was helping me co-host for a few interviews back. Carleen, I think we're 2 years ago, right? Like that was a while ago. But Carleen has always been a supporter, lovely lady. She's here in Oakville. You've seen her on Inspiring Youth. She's been on my show many times, been here on the podcast. Definitely, if you're looking for paintings that are really beautiful paintings, you want to check out Carleen Bland. So anyway, we are going to take off for a little break. We're going to come back at 3. Please join us. A big thank you to all of you for supporting the podcast and supporting the book launch. Really appreciate it. I know your time's valuable. I hope we're entertaining you a little bit. If you need me to entertain you more, I could always fall off my chair or something, but I got to get really drunk for that, so we're not going to do that now. Anyway, join us back at 3 o'clock. We've got more stuff coming up. We're going all the way to 5. Look at this is what Carleen said. Awesome, Carleen. To Kyle, wow, father and son power team. That's right. He just might want most of the money. We don't know what's going on. Thank you guys so much. You guys are all awesome. We're having a blast. I hope you're having a blast. I'm liking everybody. I'm trying to keep up with all of this. I'm not usually used to doing multiple things. That's the problem. But I'm having a blast. Hope you guys are too. And we'll see you at 3 o'clock. Bye for now. Talk to you later.